Season to begin in East Lansing. There are 30 current active head coaches who are the all-time winningest coaches of their program.
Wow.
2 of them in this game. You're looking at one of them, Tom Izzo. This is his 23rd season. Last year, they lost 15 games. That's the most since his first year in East Lansing. And we're ready for the opening tip. It's going to be in possession of the Spartans. Cassius Winston. They're going to rely on him heavily as the point guard. Number 5.
It's also going to be interesting to see how they attack this zone. They're going to be forced to move the ball around, but you got to get inside of it, carve it up.
Bridges in the paint. Oh, don't let him get so close.
You can do it one of 2 ways. You can do it with the dribble or you can do it with the pass. It's not just getting to the open spot. It's a guy like Cassius Winston who has his eyes up at all times, uses the ball fake to help Miles Bridges get open.
Garrett Sams, the foul on him, number 11 for North Florida. Bridges finishes off the three-point play. Raucous home crowd here tonight for the second-ranked Spartans. Sands to Aminu. He's their go-to guy this year. Back out to Sands for 3, and it's good. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's interesting. They space you out. They dribble drive you. You dig down, and then you get beat by a 3.
Langford trying to get it down low. Offensive foul call. Nick Ward battling for position. This was one of the bugaboos for Nick Ward's freshman campaign. Well, he got in foul trouble a lot.
You're going to learn that. Look, Nick Ward was a step behind the play pretty much every play defensively last year. That's not a knock on Nick Ward. He was put into a tough role, which was be the starting big man on a team he didn't expect to play that many minutes on. I think he's grown quite a bit, and I don't expect to see those issues as the season progresses. You see another 3 go down.
Ivan Gondia-Rosa, a junior college transfer from Puerto Rico, sinks to 3. So an early lead. Jackson, his first shot as a Spartan, and it rims out. In case you're wondering, was that a 6'11" freshman shooting a 3?
Yeah,
he does that.
You're going to see it. You are going to see it. And that's also what makes him such a dynamic threat. You have to get out and cover him. It creates better spacing and more dribble drive opportunities for your teammates.
Folks from North Florida say this is the best shooting team Matt Driscoll's ever had. Reverse goes down, so the Ospreys off to a red-hot start. An 8-0 run gives them a 5-point lead. Langford fouled on his way to the bucket.
You have to be concerned if you're the Michigan State Spartans, particularly with those pick-and-pop, pick-and-roll situations. Something Tom Izzo talked about. Every team nowadays goes with a pick-and-roll. Everybody plays a ball screen. Covering the ball screen is one of the most important things to get figured out in non-conference play.
Garrett Sams with his 4th and 5th point of this ball game. And Langford sinks his first point of the season.
To make that point, and really to bring that point home, the key is being in position early, showing, hedging hard, whatever it is you're going to do, whether it's a show, a double team, or a switch. Whatever you're going to do, you got to get there early. That's how you avoid some of that foul trouble that we talk about.
So Joshua Langford makes both of his free throws. Spartans down by 3 here early. North Florida, a team that only won 15 games last year. Garrett Sams to the rack. It's no good. Fighting for the possession. Has it amongst the trees. And Jackson with the block. Sparty with the ball. Ward begging for the basketball down low. There's Matt Driscoll, the all-time winningest head coach at North Florida. Just North Florida's 13th season of Division I basketball. Made the NCAA tournament 1 time back in the 2014-15 season. Nick Ward with the left hand.
It's the type of situation where if he gets position on you, you're already beat. You might as well just start running down to the other end of the floor.
So the question here tonight, can the Ospreys hang with the second-ranked team in the country? Another block, second block of the game for Jackson.
Something you talked about. They can hang if they're going to knock down 3s. Changes the way you defend a team when you make perimeter jump shots.
Gondia-Rosa steps in, does not get the friendly roll, and here comes Miles Bridges. Low Ward. Great position, and he's fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Nick Ward's been working so hard. He's getting position early, and he's such a big body. Look at the arms up. He's protecting himself, not picking up a foul by getting his arms up. He's getting position. He can't swat and swim. And then on the other end, just defensively, Jackson doesn't even have to jump. It's not fair.
He had 8 blocks, Jaren Jackson Jr., in one exhibition game.
Blocking shots is not as easy as just jumping in the air and swatting the ball away. It's timing. It's using your body in a good enough way where you don't pick up fouls. As much in this conference, as much as people criticize Reggie Lynch at Minnesota for getting in foul trouble, the guy blocks a ton of shots. I'm surprised he doesn't foul out more often.
Right.
It's a hard thing to do.
Matt McQuaid is checked in for Tom Izzo as Ward sinks both. And he's known for many things, not free throw shooting, so that's a good start for Nick Ward. Michigan State has converted all of their free throws so far. Up by a point. A turnover. Langford the other direction for the easy 2. North Florida needs a bucket. Aminu, 6'7" off the window, and it's good.
That's the way, during the game fight before the game, assistant coach of Michigan State, that's the way he described Aminu. He just said he's the kind of guy who just puts the ball on the floor and makes things happen. That was that exact play.
Nick Ward, I'm surprised they let him catch the ball so close to the basket.
There's 2 things I'm surprised about. That they let him catch it that close to the basket, and that you let him get to that right shoulder left hook. You got to force him back and make a shot with that right hand. As if I could do that or something. Why shouldn't you?
We're going to see a team in the Ospreys shoot a lot of shots from the perimeter. Michigan State, all their points in the paint. That three's good. Von Rosa again.
They are going to beat you up if they can get inside of your defense, whether it be with a ball screen or a pass, as Nick Ward just continues to do damage. He's going to go back to the foul line for 3.
Why stop if you're Tom Izzo and the Spartans? Nick Ward, so big, the 6'8" sophomore, but a different sophomore got points in transition. That's Joshua Langford. Michigan State answering the 3-point barrage with their own dominance in the paint. Sparty by 2 early. Hey folks, Sunday on BTN, catch a triple header of hoops as Purdue, Wisconsin, and Indiana all take the court. It all starts Sunday at 4 Eastern on BTN and streaming on BTN To Go and Fox Sports Go. Nick Ward, good-looking number 44, has 8 of Michigan State's last 10 points. It's Greg Amsinger and John Crispin. Michigan State, 10 of 15 points are in the paint. As for North Florida, 9 of their 13 from behind the arc. Not a shocker there.
I tell you, that's the great equalizer. Tried to tell my coaches my whole life. But it's true. I mean, look at that. 5 of 6 from the floor for Michigan State. But the 3 three-point baskets for North Florida is what's keeping them in this game.
Outstanding start for Nick Ward, who checks out of the ball game. Tum Tum Nair, number 11.
And this is what I want to see. How different is this lineup with Tum Tum Nair on the floor? Do they push it a little bit more? Do they get out transition? And do they pick things up defensively?
Foul on there. He really is one of the great leaders in college basketball.
He's just one of the best people.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just a fantastic individual. And I don't even want to say young man, because I feel in some way that's kind of disparaging. He's a great person. He really is, does a lot for the community. He's done so much for this team, and Tom Izzo loves him to death.
He's a senior. Leader on the court, also off of it. Many of his teammates call him the spiritual leader of this team. Reads scripture to many members of the squad, and number 11 brings the ball up the court.
He's also kind of taking a backward step, as many would see it, out of the starting lineup, but you're not going to see anything different from Tum Tum.
Nair kicks it back to Jackson. You see the big fella put the ball on the floor, and he can't convert. North Florida with an opportunity. Sloppy pass, it's stolen away. Bridges thought about it. Kick out. The 3 in and out. Battle on the boards. Michigan State. Gavin Schilling in the game as McQuaid misses the three. And McQuaid could be a major X factor for the Spartans this year.
Well, I think McQuaid and Joshua Langford, once those guys start knocking down shots, and it's a matter of time, they're both very good shooters, and they're going to get open looks with this lineup. You've got such a deep lineup where you have weapons in your starting lineup and the guys coming off the bench. You're going to get open shots. It's just a matter of not caring about missing shots and knock down open looks.
Ooh, looking for Schilling. The ball's turned over. The Ospreys have it the other way. Aminu for three. Bridges with the board. Big screen set by Carter, and a left-handed layup is the result. Ben Carter with a monstrous screen. Hard to communicate it to the Ospreys when the crowd is this loud.
The transition ball screens are so tough to defend, especially at the top of the key. It just opens things up.
Jump hook, no good from Aminu. Skip pass from Carter. The Spartans up by 5. A three from Bridges. In and out. Garrett Sams backing down there. He's got the size advantage, but Ben Carter comes over with some help side defense.
I think Tum Tum hasn't seen that before. He hasn't seen Mouse in the house before. He's one of the strongest guys on the floor. You're not going to be able to back him down that easy, but he's got help from his teammates.
Ben Carter is 6'9", sixth-year grad transfer. Also missed last season with a knee injury. Third collegiate stop for him. He came over from UNLV after beginning his career as an Oregon Duck.
Journeyman.
Already 4 blocks from Michigan State.
It's to be expected, but you wouldn't be upset if you're North Florida, because that means you're getting the ball inside. The more you're able to get the ball inside, the more open shots you're going to get around the perimeter.
Ospreys with 5 to shoot. Fadeaway no good. Doesn't even draw iron. The Spartans the other direction. Wow, Langford and one. Joshua Langford off to a great start here tonight in East Lansing.
This is a Michigan State team that they love to get out in transition, and look at the court vision of Cassius Winston. He catches the ball. Before he even catches it, he's got his eyes up at the rim to see who's open, and Joshua Langford doesn't even stop, sees the hole, takes it, finishes at the rim.
So a timeout on the floor as Michigan State extends their lead to 7 points. You know, I don't know how much you focus on the results of preseason exhibition games. And if you do, then maybe you're worried Joshua Langford lost his shooting touch, because his first game against Ferris State, he was 0 for 12 from the floor, and he really never found that shot going into tonight's regular season opener.
Look, I think what you have to do is you have to say, look, we're not looking at the results. We're looking at what we're getting from our action. Are we getting good looks? And the answer is yes. Joshua, are you getting good looks in transition with pull-up jumper opportunities at 10 feet, 15 feet from the basket? Are you getting open threes? And the answer is yes. And as a coaching staff, you're going to tell him you will make plenty of shots as the season progresses. The last thing you need to be doing is be concerned with whether you missed or made shots in the non-conference play, even in the preseason play. So he's just got to be confident. You're going to get open looks. They're going to start to fall. Good way to get started and find confidence is get out in transition and get layups.
He was 8 for 30 from the floor in his 3 exhibition games, and once again, the Spartans money from the line, 7-7 as a team. Reminder, they shot 67% as a team last year.
I love how I say, the best thing to do is not think about it. Well, we're over here talking about it. 8 for 30, 8 for 30, yeah. He'll be fine.
He's off and running so far tonight. Michigan State extending its lead to 8. An 8-0 run, the difference. Down to 7 to shoot. We're going to have to do something with it going baseline. Sam can't draw iron, and we're going to have a foul on the floor.
I don't know if it hit the rim. Did the ball hit the rim?
We're going to call a foul on Miles Bridges here. So kind of a bailout there.
I thought the shot clock reset
before it hit the rim.
I didn't think it hit the rim. I mean, look, it's November. This is our first game. I got cobwebs too, so this is going to be that'll be the first of many of my mistakes.
All I know, I miss basketball.
Oh God, Ryan, you kidding me? JT
Escobar is inbounding the ball. He's a transfer. He sat out all of last year. He played his freshman season for Ole Miss in the SEC. Out of bounds, will stay right here.
Another guy that can shoot the basketball. That high-level experience. I said before, this is not only is it a dangerous team for Michigan State to be playing against, it's a good challenge. They're going to make you work defensively. It's a tough style to play against. It's also a style that you're going to see from some Big Tens. I think Northwestern's going to play a similar way, where you got 4 guys that can shoot from the perimeter. Iowa's going to do the same thing.
Osborne Blunt has it, redshirt senior. Noah Horkler, the junior college transfer, remember to call, traveling. So sloppy play, 5 turnovers already for North Florida. Now, North Florida has upset Big Ten teams before. This is a program that beat Illinois to open the 2015-16 season. Also Purdue in 2014-15. But this is a different level of Big Ten opponent this go-around.
I would say, but look, they're a very well-coached team. And I think one of the most important things for a team that can knock off a big boy like this is they have the freedom, all the freedom in the world to take shots, to go out and win a basketball game. It's not just go out here and play not to lose. It's go out here and show them how good you are.
A block on Horkler, who has a 7'1" wingspan, number 0. Eventually, Jackson got the ball and was fouled. So another team foul. Lambright gets called, a freshman.
I tested my wingspan the other day. It's not good. Yeah, it was a weird thing because we never did that. And I don't know if you ever did that when you were in high school, college. It was not as talked about. You got these guys who are 6'7". They have 7'4" wingspans. How do you ever get a shot over that? I was like 6 foot.
I'm 6'5". Mine was 6'7".
I have 100% average. That's it. Average as it gets.
Bridges gets the offensive rebound. That was the first point for Jaren Jackson in his collegiate career. Many believe he's a one-and-done type of talent.
Well, I think he's the kind of guy that can carve up this zone.
Like Nick Ward?
Look, like Nick Ward, but that was Cassius Winston. Again, the vision of Cassius Winston is what opens that play up. And Cassius Winston just took one to the chin.
Foul down on the floor as Cassius Winston wincing in pain, but fans here in East Lansing are not. Their squad up by 11 early. We're back live to East Lansing. Jaren Jackson just hit both ends of a 1-and-1. It's now a 26-13 lead for Michigan State. A 13-0 run. North Florida. Almost a bank 3 from Emmanuel Lambright. Winston in the corner, Bridges goes baseline, skips into the middle, and it doesn't roll in. Sam's fighting on the floor for the ball, and they're going to call a foul.
Michigan State foul on 2, Jaren Jackson Jr.
Now, before he went to break, Cassius Winston was wincing in pain, and they went and took a look at what happened with Sam's, the elbow that grazed Winston's face.
Yeah, and this is what they're supposed to do. If someone gets hit in the chops with an elbow, they're supposed to go look at the monitor and determine whether this was a legal basketball play, and it sure was.
Take another look. As you see, Winston went down. They took a look at the play, and they realized there was nothing intentional there, and therefore there was no technical foul call.
Yeah, and that's what they determined. Boborowski just came over and said, look, what we saw was a legal basketball play. And look, that happens. When you put 10 bodies on a court and say run around and go try to put the ball in the basket, every now and then you're going to bump into somebody. That's why they put that terminology in there. If it's a legal basketball play, play on.
Well, you see these T-shirts in the Michigan State Spartans huddle. The Spartans wore those T-shirts tonight that read, "We talk, we listen." That's a quote from Miles Bridges. It's not about me, it's about us. On the back of the T-shirts, that was a quote from him when he announced he was returning for his sophomore year. But on the front, "We talk, we listen," is in response to the social injustice that has motivated moments of protest before sporting events throughout the country. And this was a unified agreement that the Michigan State Spartans had. It was 3 team discussions that Tom Izzo led. And obviously the media asked him about it, why the T-shirts, and the Hall of Fame coach among some of the moments during the press conference, this is what he said: if we ever decided to do anything with the social injustices of our country that are going on, we would do it as a team. We realize we have a platform to make our world a better place, at least to start the conversation locally. We're a stronger team when we talk together, when we work together. This again from Tom Izzo, head coach of the Michigan State Spartans. What did you, John Crispin, think of the T-shirt decision?
Look, I got to tell you, this is not a political statement, it's a people statement. And in the world of sports, people come from different backgrounds. They come from different socioeconomic backgrounds. They come from single-parent homes, no-parent homes, you know, two parents at home. Everybody comes from a different place. But what you realize in the world of sports, that we have more in common than that we have different. And that's what Tom Izzo's talking about here. We talk, we listen. This means we respect one another. And in that process, you realize that together, we want the same thing. And I think, yes, we come from different places. We have different perspectives. There's a different way that we view certain things. But if we talk, we listen, we all respect one another, we realize that we all want the same thing. Yeah. That's a better life for our kids. It's a better life for us.
And in case you're wondering, during the national anthem, every member of the Michigan State basketball team had their hand on their heart. And they stood in unison, wearing the T-shirt.
Look, again, like I say, it's not a political statement. It is a people statement. It's about something that's much bigger than the world of sport. You're not doing it in a way that it takes over the platform that is the national anthem. They're using their platform as a team that unifies not only the community in East Lansing, but the community that is college basketball.
Back to the live action. Michigan State ranked second in the country, up by 13.
But that's also why Michigan State, year in, year out, is as good as they are. It's why they get the best recruits in the country. It's why they win every single year, because Tom Izzo knows how to bring guys together.
Another block. 6 blocks for the Spartans tonight. 3 from Jackson. The heralded freshman has the ball right now.
Oh, he's going to get going offensively at some point. You're going to see how good he can be.
Cassius Winston, 6 assists already. Langford, the fadeaway, no good. Ward battles. Jackson ends up with it, and he's blocked by Aminu. A jump ball. I did not expect that. 6'7", blocking a 6'11" guy who's got a 7'4" wingspan.
He was in position, then he went straight up. I know, as an analyst, the last thing I'm supposed to say is good play, but not much more I can say there.
Jackson still looking for his first collegiate field goal.
He's going to have some games where he's just going to go off, because he is a matchup nightmare. You can play Nick Ward really at the 5, and 6'11" Jackson. He can space to the 3. He can post you up. He's got to start to figure out where he fits in this offense. I think he knows where he fits defensively. He's been in great position since the start of the exhibition play. He's done a great job defensively. I think he's learned a lot in the process, but offensively, he's going to get into a better rhythm and find his spots.
Remember his father's dad, Jaron Sr., played for Georgetown. 13 years in the NBA. He was part of that 1999 NBA championship team with the Spurs. You may be wondering, wait a minute, wasn't Jaron Sr. up to 6'4"? His mom's dog. With 2 to shoot. Lambright for 3, no good. And these threes, all important threes for North Florida, are not falling at the moment.
Well, they're getting decent looks, but not falling. See Matt McQuaid missed the layup opportunity. Once again, great pass from Cassius Winston.
Wajid Aminu, whose brother plays in the NBA for the Blazers. That's out of bounds.
Tom Izzo talked a little bit about playing Tum Tum and Cassius Winston together. I'm interested to see that lineup, because then you have 2 very good passers on the floor. You can play Cassius Winston kind of off the ball from time to time, and it just opens things up. He's a fantastic guy to watch pass the basketball.
It's been a while since North Florida scored. 6 minutes to be exact.
I think it was a challenge off the tip for Michigan State to get settled in defensively in terms of covering 30 feet out and limiting dribble drive opportunities, not over-helping. That's a tough thing to do.
Bridges gives it right back. Wow. And there with the left hand. Tum Tum there with his second field goal of the game. Timeout on the floor. Michigan State showing why they're ranked second in the country. Their points in the paint I mean, they've got guys that can shoot the rock, John, but why when you've got such a size advantage, and they're going to have a size advantage in almost every game they play.
Well, historically, Tom Izzo teams share the basketball well. They pass the ball very well. They understand where each other's supposed to be. And I think Cassius Winston taking a huge step forward. They also run the floor well. You're going to get layup opportunities when you get out and run. And we should have credited Nick, I think it was Nick Ward at that point, getting down the floor and sealing out. Not sure if it was Nick Ward on that play or if it was Jackson. Just sealing that lane.
15-point lead. A reminder, tomorrow, BTN Tailgate is back and on campus at Wisconsin to get you ready for a busy day in the Big Ten. BTN Tailgate, presented by TIAA, tomorrow morning at 10 Eastern on BTN.
It's a great time of year. You got football and basketball right now. Yeah.
Just sit on the couch, watch TV. It's good for you. Aminu, baseline, kicks you out, Sam passed up. The open three. Trip Day has it, a 6'7" freshman, and the pass intercepted by Jackson. All Michigan State at the moment. Miles Bridges offensively has not exploded yet, just 3 points. Schilling did not alley-oop it, came down with it, and it was fouled.
I think Matt McQuaid thought there for a second he was throwing to Miles Bridges. He had that thing on the top of the backboard. Gavin Schilling doing the right thing, just making the catch, coming down, securing the basketball. And getting fouled.
Gavin Schilling, a 6'9" senior, elite defender. Tom Izzo says will be one of the best ball screen defenders in the country this season. He was the starter on the Final Four squad back in 2014-15. He missed all of last season with a knee injury.
You know, part of that is just getting yourself out into position early. When you see the ball screens coming, you've got to sprint up and get yourself in position. It's been one of the issues with Nick Ward, is you see it. If you wait a second before you make your move, you're already beat. And that's when you pick up foul trouble, whether it's for you or for a teammate.
Free throw rolls in. Coach Izzo says Schilling still not at 100%. But it's part of the depth that the Spartans have in their front court. Last year, decimated by injuries with the recruiting class and the healthy returnees. They've got guys to go to. Aminu cannot get a bucket to fall at the moment. North Florida ice cold, down by 16. Bridges from the corner. Foul down low. Looks like it's going to be on Trip Day. Here's the issue for North Florida, John Christian. They've only got 3 guys, 6'7" or taller. And they've got their starting center, Noah Horkler, already in foul trouble with 3, and Trip Day second.
Yeah, that's a problem when you got Ben Carter, Gavin Schilling coming off the bench. I mean, you have just size after size. And that's probably one of the strongest parts of this Michigan State Spartans team, is they have such depth in the front court. Not many teams in the country have that, especially at a day and age where every 6'10" guy wants to be a guard and every guard wants to post up.
Right.
Direction at the line.
Now, I stand corrected. Trip Day, who's 6'7", has 3 fouls as well. So 2 of their 3 big guys in foul trouble with 8:42 to go in the first half.
You're probably going to see him go back to his zone, but I almost feel like that zone puts your bigs at a greater risk.
Coach Driscoll looking on. His team watching Michigan State attempt their 15th free throw here in this first half.
Well, that's good ball movement. They've moved the ball very well. They've gotten themselves into position, and you see Gavin Schilling working his way around into an offensive rebound.
The Ospreys have yet to shoot a free throw. And there's going to be an offensive foul called on Gavin Schilling fighting for position. That's his first. I love watching Tom Izzo coach.
Just watching him.
Some coaches aren't good TV. He's TV.
Great, man. I was just watching him. I just wanted to see who he was going to go after on that play, whether it was going to be an official, his own team. It's just an intense guy. He's gotten himself into great shape, lost 18 pounds, been running.
This left hand does not fall for JT Escobar. And North Florida with 11 fouls all around the back. Left-handed finish. Miles Bridges. North Florida needs a bucket. Lambright thought about it. Kicks it back out. Garrett Sands. Good option for the Ospreys. And he turns it over. there, gives it right back.
Miles Bridges is that guy. We talked about the motor is always running. He's got all the energy in the world. He makes plays on both ends of the floor. When you can throw ahead to him, it's like LeBron James coming downhill. Nothing you can do to stop that.
Basketball on BTN is brought to you in part by State Farm. Here to help life go right. The Michigan State Hall of History here at the Breslin Center. Over $60 million invested in this renovation. When you walk in, it's jaw-dropping, right, John?
Yeah, it really is. It's something special. It's a beautiful building. And you forget that this was an older building. Because of the environment inside here, it is always second to none. But it needed some updates.
Aminu is fouled on his way to the basket.
This is that lineup I was talking about with Tum Tum and Cassius Winston in at the same time. This is a small lineup. Gavin Schilling being the biggest player on the floor. Perimeter, everybody can shoot.
Aminu to the line, the first free throw attempt for the Ospreys of North Florida. They remain ice cold. We went to our first break, and John and I were talking about, hey, we got a game. It's 15-13. We spoke too soon.
Well, look, I think Michigan State settled in defensively. It's a tough team to defend, but once you figure out how to not overhelp, I think that's what they've done. They're contesting tough layups, and they're getting a lot of blocks in the process because they're not overhelping. What's happened earlier in the game was they were overhelping and giving up open threes.
First point since the 16-minute mark in this first half. Joshua Langford picks up his dribble and gets it out to Miles Bridges. Bridges with 2 fouls. Many believe he's the front runner for National Player of the Year. And on cue, he shoots a 3, but an offensive foul. Gavin Schilling with his second. I'm sorry, it's Cassius Winston with the foul. His first.
It's going to be one of those illegal screens where you kind of set the screen. Row 6, seat 7 got one.
A wild pass from Yvonne Gondia-Rosa.
I mean, you see that in baseball quite a bit. And you don't catch a basketball on the side of the head, you got problems.
This is going to be a tough stretch to open the season for a very young North Florida team. Their 12-man roster consists of 4 freshmen and 6 sophomores. They open up here at Michigan State. Tomorrow they play Michigan as Bridges hits another field goal, his 3rd field goal of this game. Then they play VCU and Florida. Those 4 games over the next 7 days. Well, that field goal from Bridges, the first field goal not scored in the paint for Michigan State.
His second at the 19th foul.
That's impressive. I mean, you don't get that by just being better than the other team. You get that by moving the basketball and getting yourself in position to open up driving lanes and get to the basket to seal in the paint. And you don't just seal in the paint by being physically dominant. You seal in the paint by watching the ball move and holding your ground, holding your position. They've done a great job of it all night.
Aminu does not hit the front end. 34-14 Michigan State as we open the college basketball season on BTN. Miles Bridges. Oh, you might be looking at the best player in the country, and if he gets hot, we're in for a show, John.
Yeah, well, you're always in for a show. Every rebound he gets looks like a highlight. If he hits that ISO opportunity, I think he's going to make you pay. And this is a tough one. Look, he gets down there in transition, gets position. At this point, you're beat. There's nothing you can do. Jab step down. You don't have a hand up, he's going to bury you.
The only freshman in the nation in the last 25 years to average at least 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists, and return to college for his sophomore season.
Say, there's something special about him athletically, too. I mean, he's been around the game long enough to not be that impressed by dunks. He is a fun guy to watch in warm-ups, man. He just gets the crowd going.
Kick out to Bridges, puts it on the floor, dribbles behind his back, fade away, no. Look at that offensive rebound. Langford gets it to drop.
And that's a great way for Langford to get some confidence. Get active on the offensive glass. Get yourself a layup. Maybe get to the foul line. Just get a little rhythm with that shot.
Joshua Langford with 7 points, off to a good start. Last year he averaged over 6. That three's down. Osborne Blunt ends the drought for North Florida.
Tom Izzo saying, why? Why, Cassius? For a split second there, Cassius Winston fell asleep.
And Tom Izzo, no matter what the score is, doesn't stop.
Well, attention to detail is key if you want to be a national championship contender. That's why they won in 2000. Their attention to detail was second to none.
Osborne Blunt strips the ball from Ward. Heads up play. Kicks it back to Sands. Crossover, going one-on-one with Miles Bridges. Nice take, but another block. And Sands can't get the easy one to fall. Loose ball on the floor. They're going to call a jump. Boy, Michigan State, we knew their front court was going to have a lot of size, but the block shot parade we've seen here in the first half is impressive.
It's just a collective effort, really. I mean, bodies are in the way of every North Florida driver, and that speaks to the coaching as well. You can't say enough about these guys that are in position consistently, and that's why Tom Izzo got so upset with Cassius Winston for giving up a 3. He knows better.
18 blocks for Michigan State in this game. Nick Ward backing down Aminu, and he walked with it. He's always trying to go with that left hand. It's a dominant move.
He's going to have to get better at just immediately going up from time to time. When he has position to get to the basket, left shoulder, right hook, he's got to go right to it. Because if you go right to it, it's going to force the defender to respect it. And that's how you get the defender moving right there. He just forced him to take a bad shot.
7th turnover for the Spartans. Hasn't burned him so far in this first half. North Florida hit their first 3 shots of this game. Ice cold ever since. 5 to shoot. Loose ball. Rosa has to shoot it off the backboard, no good, and Jackson pulls down the board.
It's been good defense. Michigan State has done a much better job defensively.
Coast to coast, and Winston's foul. Cassius Winston, the sophomore. Aminu with his 2nd foul, so all of their bigs in foul trouble now for North Florida here in the first half.
We talk a lot.
Under 5 to go.
Excuse me, pardon. We talk a lot about, kind of court vision, seeing the floor. Cassius Winston is reading the defense and watching the movement and only throwing passes and making moves to the basket when the defense and their movement gives them open opportunities.
His first point of the game, a reminder. Stay tuned for the State Farm Halftime Report. Coming up, Rick Pizzo, Sean Morris in our Chicago studios. I'm sure they're going to talk about Cassius Winston and his unselfish play. 7 assists before he had a field goal attempt.
It's such good. He just probes constantly. He just probes the floor. And the better you pass, the easier it is going to be for you to get driving opportunities and scoring opportunities. He passes the ball so well that he's going to probably have more layups than anybody on his team.
Michigan State with 16 free throw attempts. North Florida with 17 points in this game. About 4 to play. Nice pass. Easy finish for Trip Day.
That's that high ball screen that they're concerned about with Nick Ward. Just not getting out. Poor communication as Cassius Winston gets himself another bucket.
We talked about the exhibition games in the preseason, and Winston was a hot hand for Michigan State. Averaged about 16 points and 7 assists. Aminu with the turnaround does not draw iron. McQuaid has it. Skip pass. Joshua Langford. Nope.
He's got to continue to shoot that shot, though. It's a great skip pass. It's a good shot. He's got to continue to let it fly. They're going to start to fall.
Michigan State hasn't hit a 3. 0 for 5 as a team in this game. Battle down low. Nick Ward loses handle. Ball way up in the air. And North Florida comes down with the possession. Aminu can do this. Coast to coast. And another block. How many blocks will the Spartans have in this game? They have 9 with under 4 to play in the first half.
Many people around the country talking about how talented this group is for Tom Izzo, but it starts with a guy who's got to find that talent. And that's Cassius Winston. He's got some of the best vision I've seen in the country. This is a guy, he's constantly got his head up. He probes the defense. And you, as an offensive player, have to have your eyes up because you might catch a ball at any time in the chest.
Yeah, he came in kind of knowing he was the guy at the point. Tum Nair has been a leader for this club. But this is a high-prize recruit, local kid. You know, great student in high school, Cassius Winston. He thought about Stanford and Harvard, accepted to both, and decided to go to Michigan State.
So did I, didn't you? They didn't think about me, though.
I wish. Greg Amson and John Crispin as we welcome back college basketball on BTN. Beautiful move from Joshua.
That Euro step, everybody has figured out how to use it. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's something that you practice in individual workouts, and these guys have gotten so good at it, especially in transition.
Trip Day with an easy bucket.
Basket by 22, Day.
They're not fronting the post, which surprises me a little bit. Jackson all the way, and he's fouled.
Michigan State's the type of team, though, where if you get out in transition, you can beat up on anybody. And there again, you see the eyes immediately go up. And the reason why they go up is Cassius Winston trusts his teammates to be able to make plays in space. But you make a good point, partner. They're not fronting the post. I would say the only way to defend it is play over the top, force a lob over the top, backside help. But again, you're asking your backside guards to do a lot. And when there's such good balance on the floor, it's really hard to defend that. You got a number of guys that pass the ball well, too. Coming back with that lineup with Tum and Cassius on the floor at the same time.
Get a good look at number 23, Xavier Tillman, a freshman on the floor for the first time. Yeah.
Freshman, he looks like he's about 30.
Right.
Seriously, these guys. These are grown men, man.
He is a freshman. He finished second, runner-up in Michigan's Mr. Basketball last year.
But he's not that like skinny freshman. He's solid, man. I mean, this guy he's got a build. It's just, it blows my mind. I mean, to be 18, 19 years old, coming into college, and you physically that gifted.
Right.
To be able to play at this level, it takes a lot. It's not easy. You have to be physically ready to play at this level. You're seeing it in football, you're seeing it here in basketball.
Ball's tapped away.
Football blows my mind even more. When you see a true freshman come in and run the ball 25 times a game, that blows my mind.
Right. Because the physicality is so demanding in this.
Amazing. Getting hit by 300-pounders every play.
Pass, but McQuaid couldn't handle it. Turnover. Michigan State hands it back to North Florida. Xavier Tillman lost Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan. A close vote to Isaiah Livers, who's the star recruit for University of Michigan. The two went head-to-head in the state quarterfinals, and Tillman's team dominated. Tillman had 18 points, 13 boards in that game. And it was a mano-a-mano matchup for sure.
And right now, Tom Izzo's going to coach him up. He's going to teach him about covering that ball screen. I mean, that's where they've had issues. And that top of the key ball screen is where they're getting beat. And that's what Tom Izzo's saying. You've got to get up there quickly, because if you're not up there in time, that's when you get split. And that's when they had an opportunity to make a layup, just missed the shot.
First free throw good for Jackson. Again, stay tuned for the State Farm halftime report. Rick Pizzo, Sean Morris breaking down everything they've seen so far here tonight in East Lansing. North Florida has 21 points in this game. Michigan State now has 22 free throw attempts.
Look, it's not because it's unfair and this is, these are Big Ten officials. No, it's because of what Michigan State's doing in terms of getting to the basket, getting the ball inside, forcing the defense to chase the play. When you chase the play, you get beat. The only thing you can do is foul.
And we knew going into this ball game, it was going to be a mismatch.
Yeah.
You get the second-ranked team in the country for a reason, against a team that's never beaten a top 25 program in its history.
Not to mention the size difference.
And then you look at the size. The only way this team, North Florida, could have competed is if they continued to do what they did in the first 3 minutes of the game. That was hit shots, but they can't hit the three. We have the result, a 27-point difference.
Well, I'll tell you what they can do. They can continue to work that ball screen at the top of the key and make those Michigan State bigs get out and cover. Because that's been a problem. They haven't capitalized on it by making shots or finishing at the rim, but they've gotten opportunities.
North Florida, a team without their star from last year, Dallas Moore. We talked about it in the onset. It's a player that averaged almost 24 points a game.
It's a tough one to lose.
Yeah, he's your go-to guy. Day has nowhere to go. 14 seconds to shoot. Tapped away. You're looking at the first collegiate bucket from Jaren Jackson Jr., and it's a loud one. Rosa with the reverse. Beautiful move. Yvonne Gaudia-Rosa.
Silencer.
Played for three, no good. Under a minute to go here in the first half. Oh, Michigan State. Sams for three. Airball.
Everybody wants to see this guy get going, and sometimes it takes an energy play, an effort play, to get a little rhythm, to get excited about scoring baskets. It's like getting your first sale as a real estate broker. You know, it just gives you that little extra something to go get another one.
I remember what that feels like, John, yeah.
Has something to do with money, I don't know.
Jaren Jackson Jr., his first bucket, an awesome open court dunk. 6'11".
And one. I think he did say and one. I think he was looking for a foul there.
He is a super talent.
Yeah, he is.
9 points and 9 boards in his first
But
half.
the blocks, too. And that's really where he's a game changer. You go back a couple years ago to Deontay Davis. That guy really changed the game. Went to the NBA after his freshman year. And I think that hurt that team last year. Certainly hurt that team last year. He kind of fills that role. Good defender, but can space out and hit those jump shots from the perimeter.
About a 3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. And Michigan State will call a timeout for this final possession of the first half.
Well, this is where coaches like to work situations. Good job by Tom Izzo. Looking at this as an opportunity to work a situation. One shot, let's work it down. It's not as if you're going to be concerned with giving up the lead at this point. You're just working on a situation that you're going to deal with throughout the course of the season.
A reminder while we're in this timeout, tomorrow it's another great slate of Big Ten football on BTN and Fox with 5 matchups taking center stage, including Ohio State hosting Michigan State. It's all on BTN and Fox tomorrow, and you can stream the games on BTN To Go and Fox Sports Go. You also have Rutgers, Penn State. Big Ten football has been so much fun to watch. We'll see what the college basketball season brings us. Will this team go back to the Final Four, make it the 8th Final Four for Tom Izzo in his 23 years?
I think it's tough because you got to live up to some really high expectations, but the ceiling's very high.
Foul on the floor, another foul for North Florida.
The ceiling's high because of the personnel, because of the coach, because of this university and the reputation this basketball program has. As I said in the open, the expectations are always high for Michigan State Spartans, Tom Izzo basketball team. But then when you add this type of talent, the experience that this sophomore group got last year, all the minutes that they logged, that should put them in a position to be able to win at a high level.
5th point of the game. Miles Bridges sitting on the bench with 9 points, 5 rebounds. In case you're just tuning in, Nick Ward has played really well. Miles Bridges, many consider him to be front runner for National Player of the Year in all of college basketball.
Well, I think one of the keys for Nick Ward is actually having guys to go up against in practice. You know, last year, he had no one that could really contend with him down low. He's got guys to really fight against.
Wow. 3 is good. Yvonne Gaudia-Rosa has really played well in this first half. Their leading score. So maybe a little momentum for North Florida. Halftime here in East Lansing. Our score, Michigan State 52, North Florida 26. A dominant start to the regular season for the Spartans. After the break, it's the State Farm Halftime Report. Stick around. Rick Pizzo, Sean Morris in our Chicago studios on BTN. We're at the half. The second-ranked team in the country played that way in the first half to kickstart the regular season. 52-26 is the score against North Florida. Here courtside, it's Greg Amsinger and John Crispin. We opened the broadcast talking about Miles Bridges Super sophomore could be the best player in the country. Did he look that way to you in the first half?
It's impossible to live up to that expectation, especially in the type of game where he's not going to be asked to do a ton. He's just going to get out and execute as much as he can offensively, be as active as he is, and that's what he does. He gets out in transition, and as I said, he's just a great train coming down the hill. Great body control, great skill, footwork, and he makes plays happen. This is where I think he can really develop. You know, using that pick and roll, using the jump shot, I think he can continue to dominate, especially with a guy in Cassius Winston who's always going to find him. But he's just such a tough matchup. You cover him with a big because of his strength and size, and he beats you up. You cover him with a guard, he shoots right over the top.
He said unfinished business was the reason he returned to East Lansing for his sophomore season.
It's not about me, it's about us. That was his quote.
9 points, 5 boards for Miles Bridges as we begin the second half. North Florida trying to make something happen as their point guard, Rosa. Aminu kicks it back out to him. Escobar for 3, and it almost dropped. Almost not good enough for the Ospreys. We're down 26. This has been a physical game. Down low in the point, a lot of fouls.
What you have to do is, in North Florida, you've got to body up. You've got to try to meet Nick Ward early. But Nick Ward just continues to back you down, and the officials doing a good job trying to keep it as clean as possible. It's hard, though. Some of these fouls Nick Ward's getting, it's because he's just that much bigger.
Nick Ward, 11 points, 2 boards in the first half. Didn't miss a shot, 4 of 4 from the floor. JT Escobar has it. Long 3, and it's good. His first bucket as a member of the North Florida Ospreys. The Ole Miss transfer. Bridges to Ward. How did he catch that?
Almost as if his hand was up and the ball just hit it. It was a tough one to catch.
That's the 4th foul on Trip Day.
There's not much you can do. I mean, Miles Bridges is falling out of bounds, throws the ball right at Nick Ward's hand, and Trip Day ends up with a foul.
The 6'7" freshman might be out of this game in a hurry. Bridges, baseline off the window, and it's good.
It's just so tough to cover. And part of that is body control and strength. He went up to the basket. He took a little contact, adjusted in the air, and finishes. Can't teach that.
Bridges averaged 16 points, 8 boards last year, his freshman season at Michigan State. Aminu, turnaround, and he's fouled.
We talk about Miles Bridges. What do you do to stop this? Maybe just keep the ball out of his hands. I mean, eyes are up the entire time. He's probing the floor. He's not just driving to the basket, picking up offensive fouls. He's under control, and that might be a part of his game that is already showing signs of development. You know, not just flying to the basket and trying to jump over everybody. That was great body control. Not picking up an offensive foul.
Talking about a lottery pick in the NBA draft that turned down millions to come back for a chance at a national championship.
You know, and I don't even want to hear anybody talk about, well, why wouldn't you want to come back? I would have been gone in a second. Both of my parents are educators. My father's a superintendent of schools, values education. My mother's a music teacher. Retired music teacher now. I would have been gone in a minute.
I'm telling you.
If I could have left out of high school,
Right?
I would have gone. So how do you question these kids? So that's what makes this so astonishing and so motivating to see him come back to school and want to just do something special.
Winston for 3, and it's good.
He did what adults wouldn't do.
Tom Izzo tried to talk him out of it. Like, are you sure?
Crazy.
Noah Harkler, his first bucket.
It's just such a funny thing. Well, my college experience was great. I would love to spend more time in college. Like, talking about, you made 40 grand out of college. Of course you want to stay in school.
Joshua Langford with the reverse. He's got 13 points.
That being said, I was one of those. I would have left.
Air ball from Harkler. The Spartans up by 26. Bridges, oh, he can soar.
They're just so good in space. And Cassius Winston doesn't fly up the floor like Tum Tum Nairn does, but because he's constantly probing and picking out his passes, he's that much more dangerous.
Escobar for three, his second straight of the half. And a timeout called on the floor. North Florida calling a timeout, trying to chat things over.
It's a good timeout to take because this Michigan State team has gotten rolling. Cassius Winston gets the open three, kicking it in, kicking it out. And then Langford, as active as he's been, that might be the best thing he can do.
Basketball on BTN is brought to you in part by State Farm, here to help life go right. The Hall of History here in the campus of Michigan State University. Over $60 million into this Breslin Center, and my goodness, you walk in, it's better than NBA facilities.
But it's also good history, man. You can't have a program with no history and have a Hall of History. There's a lot of history in this program, and that's what leads to the expectations that they have.
Alley-oop, and it's intercepted by North Florida.
I don't even know how he touched both the ball and the rim on that play.
Rosa for three. He's their leading scorer. He has 11. Great ball coast to coast. And they're going to call a foul. It's going to be on Aminu.
Well, never touched the ground. They got the ball out and up. Gavin Schilling doing a great job running to the rim. That is more important than anyone understands. When you have a guy that occupies that block early in transition, it forces the defense to take that away. And that's where you get these open three opportunities in transition. And more coaches are okay with that shot. They weren't when I played. Always got taken out every time I missed it. Always comes back to me.
It's your basketball life, John.
It is. But that's also why I love the game right now. I mean, you watch the Golden State Warriors, the way they shoot the three in the NBA, but now that's really coming back down to the college basketball game. The college basketball game, to me, is a blend of the NBA and Europe, where it's about spacing, but you've got some very versatile players. It's a lot of pick and roll, but it's pick and roll with a purpose. It's not just, clear out, everybody go to the other side and run a ball screen. It's ball screen, action on the backside, and you're getting more and more open looks, and it's leading to some high-level basketball.
Yvonne Gondia-Rosa, baseline fadeaway, no good, and that's rebound number 10 for Jaren Jackson.
You also have guys that
make it 11.
Specializing in basketball at a young age. Look out.
On cue, John Crispin.
Just get out of the way. That's an offensive foul.
You're rolling right now, my friend.
Oh, man, just seriously, look, this is my public service announcement. If Miles Bridges is going to the basket and you think you might have a chance to block him, think again. Just get the heck out of the way.
15 points, 6 rebounds for Miles Bridges.
Look, there's posters. When people say, oh, you're going to get put on a poster, ain't no posters anymore. What is this, the 80s? You get put on YouTube. You're on Instagram. There are GIFs or GIFs made about you.
You're aging yourself.
Look out.
Oh, no, he missed it. He looked up. It looked like he tried to blame the rim on that. Bridges, who's a highlight show, Aminu with the left hand. And Day follows with the offensive board, but he's fouled.
I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Look, when your dunks are spectacular, that's one thing. No doubt, hey, this guy flies. He's fantastic to watch. But when he misses, it's still fun to watch. Holy smokes.
Celebrating 10 years on BTN, Tom Izzo, the Hall of Famer, now up to 544 career victories. Looking for his 8th Final Four, 2nd national championship. John Crispin, does he have the team to do it this year?
Yeah, he does. He does, and I think it's important to take time every now and then, not just to appreciate that green jacket, but to appreciate what he's done for the game of basketball. I mean, year in, year out, to have such competitive teams and to put out really good basketball players, but good young men. I mean, that's a testament to what he and his staff do. he's dedicated a lot to this game. I know a lot of credit goes to his coach as well, Judd Heathcote. He's a guy he owes a lot to.
Yeah. This is the Spartans' first game since the August death of Judd Heathcote, who amassed 340 victories in his career. This is stolen away, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. He won the national championship, Judd Heathcote, back in 1979. Hired Tom Izzo as a part-time assistant coach in 1983. You see the banner there celebrating his career.
It's interesting. I mean, there's a guy that saw something special in Tom Izzo. And I don't want to say not a lot of other people did, but it's at a time where he hadn't really yet proven himself. And I know that Tom Izzo is very grateful for the opportunity that he's been given. And I'm sure Tom Izzo has created a lot of opportunities for people on his staff as well.
No doubt.
I mean, you can go through the list of people that have worked for Tom Izzo and that have done very well for themselves in the game of basketball.
Turnover for North Florida. They have possession. Sam for three, and he's gone ice cold since the first couple of minutes of this ball game.
It's hard to get out of rhythm when you miss shots. You also get out of rhythm when Michigan State does things defensively that just takes that initial option away.
McQuaid, pump fake, three. He hasn't found it yet. Schilling found that rebound, and it's not that bad.
Michigan State basketball.
Get back to Judd Heathcote. There is the coach. Paying homage, Tom Izzo paying homage to Judd Heathcote. There you see, look. You can't say enough about the relationship that these two have had. And you can't say enough about the emotions that might be going through Tom Izzo's head as he kicks this season off. And we don't talk enough about that stuff, the real life that is going on while sports is happening.
Judd Heathcote passed away at the age of 90 in August. 42 years now, 42 seasons at least, of college basketball. Michigan State fans can only recall two head coaches.
And there's something about that. I hope every institution out there is listening to this. And it's not what I'm going to say, it's what you just said. Look at all the success that this program has had for those 40-plus years because of two men who ran this program.
Yeah.
When there's stability and consistency with the coaching staff, there's less pressure about recruiting that next best player. It's more about building culture, building a program that's founded on certain principles, and those principles are what helps you win. And I think that's something that is few and far between today, where you are all about, if you don't win today, you're gone tomorrow.
Right.
And part of that has to do with the fact that there's a lot of money involved. Coaches don't make 40 grand anymore. They don't make 5,000. Coaches that are in the game now that said, you know, when I was coaching, my first contract was $5,000. So they're making $2 million plus. So I understand the pressure, the expectations, and the demands put on coaches, but it doesn't mean it's going to give you success as an institution.
Now, Izzo has built a culture here in East Lansing.
I say the same thing for the Big Ten Network. You know, you keep me around forever. You know, we're going to finally find success, right?
And you finally found it. John Christmas. Down to 4 to shoot. Aminu's going to have to chuck it, and he does. Another rebound for Miles Bridges. 4 turnovers for Michigan State in the last 5 possessions. Not typical Spartan basketball, but has led to a 30-point lead. Down low, the bucket is good.
It's good to see that if you're Tom Izzo. You see execution against the zone. You see the ball change the sides of the floor. And once you get inside of it, you're beat.
Gavin Schilling, who converted on the floor, draws the foul.
Between Ben Carter and Gavin Schilling, these guys need to continue to get healthier and healthier, get used to game speed again. It's been a while since both of these guys have played in game, because they could be key contributors as you get into conference play, as you play at Purdue, a team that's just going to beat you up, even a team like Iowa, who's got a lot of young bodies and a lot of young big bodies. I think you need that depth in the front court.
Wisconsin, how they can draw fouls, slow the game down.
They need a quadruple team he should have.
Right. Horchler kicks it out. This is Osborne Blunt with the ball from North Florida. The Ospreys picked to finish 3rd in the preseason Atlantic Sun Conference poll. Aminu can't get anything going offensively. He's only made 1 shot in his sophomore campaign. The 6'7" sophomore. 1 of 11 from the floor. Doesn't mean it. He averaged over 9 points, over 6 boards a game as a freshman. The Atlantic Sun Freshman of the Year. Winston in the paint. No.
I think that's where he can really hurt you. If he can get that shot down where he gets to the basket, you're so concerned with his ability to pass that he's going to get open layup opportunities. He's got to finish.
Under 12 to play in this ballgame. The season opener here on BTN. The highest ranked team in the Big Ten Conference on display. Alley-oop no good, but the fans enjoyed the attempt. Ivan Gondiarosa. And he's fouled on the floor. So Michigan State not exactly dialed in here in the second half, but they're up comfortably in East Lansing.
We have a timeout.
We're back to the live action. North Florida down 32 to Michigan State. Looking for their first bucket in the last 8 attempts. The Ospreys of North Florida. Greg Amsinger, John Crispin. Going to break. Michigan State, sloppy play. Is it difficult when you're up this big to keep the focus?
It is difficult, but if you want to be a national championship contender, you have to do what the team back in 2000 was able to do. They were able to bring it every day. And it's very cliche, but there's something about a consistency of effort where regardless of your opponent, if you can bring that consistency of effort coupled with the talent that they have, they'll win every game.
Joshua Langford thought about the shot, pass at the Bridges, but it goes out of bounds.
Right now, Tom Izzo wants the ball inside. You don't want to just pass the ball around the perimeter. He's telling Ben Carter, you got to get inside. You got to see the open spots, especially against the zone. You're reading the defense more and more against the zone. You're watching those rotations, and when the ball comes back around, the offense is anticipating the movement.
Jaren Jackson Jr. checks back into the game. A reminder why this game is so significant. Jaren Jackson, considered the 7th best freshman in the nation, according to Athlon Sports. Dad played in the NBA. Many consider him a lottery pick at the end of this year. Number 2 in white. He's got 9 points in this ball game already.
You could also see, already see, I should say, that he's got room to develop athletically. He's going to continue to develop athletically. I think he's going to develop his fitness. He's going to work on that ball handling. He's going to develop more of a versatile game. He's already got a dynamic game inside and out, but he's going to develop more and more, especially as he gets more comfortable in this system, playing with 4 other guys at a high level.
You're looking at a freshman debut. Miles Bridges last year, 21 and 7. And then you see Jackson tonight, 9 points, 12 boards, 3 blocks. May I remind you, Miles Bridges made his freshman debut against the University of Arizona. A different opponent compared to North Florida.
Miles Bridges also didn't have Miles Bridges on the floor. Forget about that. There's a lot of guys out there that say, oh, I would have scored 1,000,000 points if I didn't play with Michael Jordan. Clearly, you got to start Miles Bridges on the floor. You're going to have to fit into the system and not be the system.
Yeah, Bridges was expected to be the go-to guy when he arrived. And it led to a very mediocre season for Michigan State standards. 21 and 15 was their record. That was the most losses for a Tom Izzo team here in East Lansing since his first season coaching the Spartans. Yet they still made it to the NCAA tournament. They won their first-round game against Miami, and they were knocked out in the second round.
Yeah, they have it rough here in East Lansing.
Oh, my goodness. Offensive foul. Jaren Jackson showing, that was signs of Kevin Garnett.
It was kind of a little bit of a forearm shiver. Yeah, a little bit. But, man, you're right. There was a little Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett was a beanpole coming out of high school. He looks more like Kevin Garnett nowadays.
Well, Jackson put on 18 pounds after his senior year to get to 242. That's how much he weighs.
By the way, Kevin Garnett, late in his career, still looked like a beanpole until you got near him. You realize this guy is so strong. All of these guys, we talked about that. I was talking to Dave before the game. I just said, do you remember playing against guys that look like this?
No,
like every one of them. Physically so gifted.
Lambright, the freshman, can't make the 3. Here's Bridges in transition to Jackson for the first.
The dunks are cool. But what's what's even better is a big guy like that running the floor, 6'11", 240. And he's running the floor to the point where Miles Bridges can look ahead and feed.
11 points and 12 boards now for Jackson. Gagne Rose now has 13 points for North Florida.
That's what I'm talking about. You get a big, gets a rebound. He doesn't throw out to Cassius Winston. He throws it up to Miles Bridges. And Miles Bridges finds the 6'11", 240-pound Jackson. And that's why that's our State Farm assist of the game.
Once again, Jaren Jackson, he was the star of the recruiting class coming into this year for Tom Izzo. But Michigan State recently celebrated 5 players who signed their national letters of intent. Headlined by a local product, Marcus Bingham Jr., 6'10", 195 pounds, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Gabe Brown, Aaron Henry, Thomas Keither, and Foster Lawyer, who's a three-point sharpshooter, averaging around 30 points a game his junior year. So Tom Izzo, who said, if I lose a game next year, they should fire me.
You know what? Only Tom Izzo could say that. There's no coaches out there outside of Coach K, Tom Izzo, maybe Calipari, who are actually saying that.
Because he knows they won't.
Yeah, have fun with that. You know, that's what I kind of say to suggest. Seeing a good inside-out play, get the ball to the foul line, look opposite, open three for Cassius Winston. He lost 15 games last year, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's such a bad season. You should see the rest of the country. Oh my gosh. They do, they have it, It's pretty good here. High expectations, great coaching staff, high level of play, great atmosphere. This is a great, great place for basketball. I had to lose here plenty.
Oh, you had to, huh?
Okay.
During your days at Penn State? So I want to give you the quote, just so you know, I'm not paraphrasing here. Well, I know one thing for sure. If next year's class comes in and we lose a game, I should be fired because we didn't miss a shot. The talent level in the state is getting better and better. If I could put a fence around the state, that's very important. That from Tom Izzo.
Seriously, I mean, it's impressive that you're able to control your state so much, and that goes to the culture and the identity that they have here. I mean, you want to be a part of this. And that's what's interesting. You see, if you're a highly talented player in this state, it seems as if this is where you're going to go. Why would you go anywhere else? You represent your state. You represent this brand of basketball. And there's guys in the NBA that are thriving because of you.
It's funny you say that, because the young man you're looking at here, Jaren Jackson Jr., came from Indiana. But in the preseason, he guarded the SEC Player of the Year, preseason SEC Player of the Year, Yante Mayton of Georgia. Got into early foul trouble in that game. He finished with just 4 points, 4 boards, didn't make a shot. Mayton, who's from the state of Michigan, had 33 points in that exhibition game. After the game, Tom Izzo said, I should be fired for letting a talent that good get out of the state.
Yeah, once again, only he could say that.
76-45, Michigan State.
It's important to note, though, with recruiting, it's not just getting, oh, well, he's got a low number next to his name. No, you recruit guys that fit, whether it's fit a role on your team or a style of play, and sometimes you do miss guys. There are a number of players out there that were missed, overlooked. They end up coming back. Bryn Forbes went to Cleveland State before he ended up here, and he had a pretty good career.
Jackson with his 4th block in this game. 10 for the Michigan State Spartans collectively. Aminu down low. Amongst the trees off the window and good. In case you're wondering, the most blocks for a Michigan State team in a game. As Tillman hits his first bucket with Michigan State.
Everybody's wondering. Go ahead.
13 blocks against San Jose State back in 2007. Young talent everywhere for this Spartan squad, ranked 2nd in the country. And you see why. Xavier Tillman, a starter on most programs, off the bench, using his 6'8" big body to extend the lead, 78-47 Spartan.
Next week, it's Big Ten versus Big East in the Gavitt tip-off games. See all the action on FS1 and BTN, or stream the games on Fox Sports Go and BTN to go. This is awesome. To have these type of games this early in the season. I mean, we don't have the best game tonight, but you're seeing this team grow and develop. They're going to have to face Duke coming up.
Oh, yeah.
The Gavitt tip-off games give you great matchups early in the season. And remember, Big Ten conference play starts first week in December. So that sense of urgency early in the season to kind of clear things up, dust off the cobwebs, execute, get yourself locked in defensively, it's got to be there.
Good look at Tom Izzo, who is really happy with his preseason exhibition schedule because it gave him multiple looks, teams that play different styles, which, including North Florida, their first regular season game, a team that's perimeter oriented, gives his team balanced experience playing all types.
I'll tell you, if I'm going to have one criticism for Michigan State, and yes, it's a bit of a reach, but this is the way coaches have to think, because you work towards perfection. It's going to be that top of the key ball screen. The bigs have to get themselves in position early, and part of that is reading the play, staying on the hip of your man so you can defend, be in position early, because they've got beat a number of times. And a more talented program, better bigs, better three-point shooters, and better dribble drivers, they'll break you down.
As a team, Michigan State 3 of 10 from behind the arc. With so many points in the paint. Tum Tum Nair gets the ball, kicks it to McQuaid. McQuaid backs up with it. 80-49, under 7 to play here in this one. Oh, nice putback. Miles Bridges on the glass. He has 17.
Seems to come out of nowhere too, right? Like he's just constantly moving, changes speeds well, gets to the glass.
Offensive board and a putback, an easy one for Garrett Sands. He has 7. Yeah, up next for Michigan State, Duke. Coach K, Tom Izzo, locking horns. Must-see TV. Under 15 to shoot for the Spartans. Why not? Nick Ward has really looked good on the floor tonight. Perfect 6 of 6 shooting. He lost weight in the offseason.
Talk about Miles Bridges. You look at the activity. Here he is, top of your screen. He's so active. You have to have a body on him at all times. You can't think that he's not going to attack the offensive glass just because he's 35 feet out. This guy plays with a high motor. He doesn't stop.
Do you view Miles Bridges as the best player in college basketball?
It's impossible to say. I think we like to get excited like that and say things like, oh, he's the best player in college. This was the best hire. He's the best player. There's hands down, there's nobody that can contend with what he does. There are a lot of talented players out there. And you got to wait and see how he fits in with this team. And does the team and Coach Izzo maximize his potential this year, or do they struggle at times? Yes, talent-wise, he's up there with any of them. But it really comes down to the team and how they come together. I don't really like those because it's impossible to say. But I'm sure I can get people tweeting if I say something like, no one's close to Miles Bridges. He's the best.
Well, many people believe it. Preseason National Play of the Year by many media outlets. This 3 in and out. Another rebound for Bridges.
I think the biggest part of that is his character. You can't say enough about his character. He throws the ball at the cameras on the baseline, but his character is so high, and you can't say enough about that with a young man. You know, he could have gone and made millions of dollars playing basketball, but instead, he wants to come back and really build something here with a bunch of guys that he loves, for a coach and a coaching staff that he loves, for a school and a state that he loves.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that's really special. And that's, if you're considering the best player in the country, I would consider that as well.
Preseason Big Ten Player of the Year as Ward gets the steal. We're going to say it's out of bounds. Possession North Florida. Nick Ward has been impressive tonight.
He's been impressive, and he's done a great job working hard early on the offensive end. I think where he's got to improve is working early on the defensive end. That's going to be defending that high ball screen. Some Tom Izzo struggled with him with last year. I think he's shown signs of improvement, and part of that is just not just a sense of urgency or an effort. It's just seeing the play develop and getting yourself out there in position. It doesn't only mean a stop defensively, it also means staying out of foul trouble. And when you don't have to trail the play and sprint to catch up, you're actually saving energy.
He ranks second in the nation in both fouls drawn per 40 minutes and offensive rebounding percentage. That's according to KenPom.com. A very efficient player, Nick Ward. Now, part of that, he wasn't on the floor a while because of foul trouble and his condition. He didn't even average 20 minutes a game.
You've been talking for 2 minutes, and I'm still trying to figure out what fouls drawn percentage and offensive rebounding percentage really is.
Well, fouls drawn per 40, he averaged 8.8 fouls drawn, which is good, and you can see why. Look, he's a big body in the paint.
It takes me a while to catch up. What I do know is this guy has done a great job this season so far getting in position. And when he gets position and he gets that right shoulder left hook, he's unstoppable. But I got to tell you also, if I'm watching this tape, I know that I'm going to meet him early. I'm going to meet him at the foul line, not let him get on the block. And I'm also going to force him to use that right hand because he loves to come back to that right shoulder left hook where he's just lethal.
Hasn't missed a shot tonight. Horkler, the tallest player from North Florida, fouled out of the game, so the Spartans take advantage early.
Tum there, and good ball movement, sees that gap, and attacks the opening, finishes strong at the rim too. Can't speak enough about how Tum there finishes in transition and at the basket.
Sams loses handle of it, but they're going to call a foul on Carter. Ben Carter with the foul. And the difference this year, John, how it affects Coach Izzo and Miles Bridges. Bridges had to play that flex 4 position last year. And Coach Izzo will say not that big of a difference, but the post depth that the Spartans now have, it gives Miles Bridges the opportunity to not have, he's got 10 rebounds tonight, but he's not defensively guarding the biggest player and grinding down low. The wear and tear of that position will not be on him this year.
You can't say enough about that as well. I mean, there's so many things that go into the success of one individual, and so much of that has to do with the type of rotation. Who's going to finish that? You just see the eyes go up to the rim. He takes the contact. You guys built like Cam Chancellor, you know what I mean? It's an absolute house. What do you do to stop this? Again, nothing. There's nothing you can do to stop this. And that's 5 fouls on day. All you can do is get out of the way and just say, you know what, here's 2 points, just don't get 3.
I'm going to throw a comp for Miles Bridges. It's a combo comp. Tell me if I'm off base.
Okay, go ahead.
Because of the lefty, I know he's 6'7", not 6'10". It's Derek Coleman meets Vince Carter.
That's good.
Because of the ups and the above-the-rim talent that Vince Carter possessed. It's Derek Coleman meets Vince Carter.
How many college-age kids right now are listening going, who's Derek Coleman? They got Google out, checking his Instagram page. Derek Coleman just got put on the spot because of the Big Ten Network and Greg Hampson.
Derek Coleman was awesome.
He was awesome. They had some spectacular teams. Bailey looks no different.
Right? He doesn't look any different. Agents. Tom Izzo was smiling. Did I see an Izzo smile?
Mild smirk.
Bridges out of the game. He did his job. What a performance for Bridges. 20 points, 10 boards. Sams with the bucket in transition. It's 89-55. The second-ranked team in the country. Impressive to open the regular season. And Ward will go to the line. Michigan State. A statement early, a warm-up game for them as they take on the Blue Devils in their second game of the regular season. Miles Bridges, a double-double, and Sparty looking good here in East Lansing. Rick, thank you. Michigan State, impressive to start the regular season. 89-55, 4 minutes to play. That's why they're ranked second nationally in both the AP and coaches polls. Take a look at this. Ranked number 2 behind Duke. They're going to take on Duke Tuesday night in Chicago as part of the Champions Classic.
That's awesome, too. I mean, the fact that we get to see 1 versus 2 this early. And last year it was really tough for Michigan State. It wasn't just the tough schedule in terms of the matchups. It was all the travel. And that really was a hard thing for such a young team to go through. So many injuries, didn't have the depth, still trying to figure out your rotations, playing top 5 caliber teams, and doing it across the world.
Checking back in for Michigan State.
I mean, it sounds really cool. Let's go to Hawaii, play, then we're going to go to New York, and then we're going to go down here. Like, that's brutal.
Yeah. Students.
I'm stressing my drive to Chicago tomorrow.
Really?
Not really.
It's Greg Amsinger and John Crispin.
I don't know. The weather's been bad.
It snowed. Too early for that. It snowed yesterday. Morton on the floor. Rebound, Michigan State. Chilling Nair, baseline McQuaid. Nice finish. Matt McQuaid converts. The threes just do not fall for North Florida, who will play Michigan tomorrow night. Ball's on the floor. Biggs on the floor like Schilling. Carter to McQuaid, who takes the right hand to the rim. Oh, fans, they want to see 100 points.
Are they giving out free tacos for 100 or something? They're
They
pretty
should.
hyped about this.
I could go for a chalupa right about now.
I have to steal somebody's ticket stub.
Sams for 3, and it's good.
Basket for 11, Sam.
Garrett Sams, the 6'6" sophomore.
Checking in for North Florida. 3, Escobar, and 1,
Now McQuaid's the kind of guy where if he could get going, and not just getting to the basket, but he's such a threat from the perimeter. If he can start to knock down some three-point shots, it just changes how you cover this team. And that's where you get better spacing. It's where you get open drive opportunities, and then you get even more open threes. It's a weird thing to think about. You make a few open threes, it actually leads to more open threes. Because you get a few layups, and then they try to take that away, and it gets right back to open three-point shots.
McQuaid with 8 points, looking to become the 6th member of the Michigan State team to reach double figures in scoring tonight. Tillman, not one of those 5, but he converts. He has 6. Xavier Tillman, the freshman. Almost to the 2-minute mark. 96-58 Michigan State. Duke blew out Elon tonight, scoring 97 points in the process. Dawn Rosa from Puerto Rico, transfer, JUCO transfer from the College of Central Florida. He's been impressive tonight.
He's knocked down open shots. He's created a lot of opportunities. And this team is tough cover. The way they play, the green light that they all have, it's a hard team to match up against.
From the right elbow.
Again, it's early in the season. Leave me alone.
It's a team that should have some success in the
that's
Atlantic
what I
Sun.
Please correct me when I make bad comments.
You don't make many. And 1. Osborne Blunt went to the rack and drew the foul.
These are always interesting times for Tom Izzo, too, because you want your guys to stay locked in, right? You want them to still go out and execute both offensively and defensively. It's hard to stay too fired up, but you still want whoever's on the floor to get out there and do the job they're asked to do. Protect the lane, no driving lanes, because you got Duke coming up. Any bit of slippage, you know, another one of those sports terms, slippage, you know, any bit of slippage leads to disaster against some high-level opponents. This is an impressive Michigan State team. I mean, I'm excited to have this type of team in the Big Ten this year. Yes, it makes the Big Ten, you know, possibly a little top-heavy, how good they could be. I'm going to shut up for this one. Oh, the crowd would have gone nuts if he knocked that one.
Now it's Connor George, a redshirt sophomore. Escobar's 3 no good. Under a minute to play, Michigan State looking to reach triple digits to open the regular season.
I'll say, as much as you might think it's going to be top heavy, I still think Purdue's going to be a really good basketball team. You know, there's a lot of teams out there like Minnesota, Iowa, and Northwestern that could surprise a lot of people.
Schilling, turnaround, no good. And the crowd on the edge of their seat for 100 points.
Something about a honey bun, huh?
It is. It's a big deal. Morton's three. Here we go. 22 seconds to go. McQuaid kicked it out. And it's a turnover. Morton will give him another opportunity with 13 seconds to go.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how Michigan State responds to this victory, how they improve, and who they are against Duke.
They will not reach 100 points.
This crowd is sick.
They wanted it. 98-66 is the final score in this Jaren Jackson Jr.'s first collegiate basketball game. And I got to tell you, he was impressive as advertised. He finished with 13 points, 13 rebounds, 4 block shots, 9 of 10 from the charity stripe. Miles Bridges, as he talks to Coach Driscoll, all smiles. Many